The Galactic Council Chamber, a sprawling arena located at the heart of the multiverse metropolis of Zentari Prime, buzzed with tension and anticipation. Representatives of over 100 sentient species gathered in their respective sectors, their diverse forms casting an array of shadows across the opulent mosaic floor. The chamber, a masterpiece of interstellar architecture, was designed to foster peace and cooperation among the stars. Yet today it hosted a spectacle no one anticipated. At the center of the arena stood the Terran delegate, Commander Sarah Jensen. Clad in the minimalist functional uniform of Earth's Space Corps, she contrasted sharply with the extravagant attire of her alien counterparts. Her presence alone was not the cause of the uproar, rather it was the colossal beast beside her, restrained by nothing but a thin, gleaming leash. The creature, known as a Vraxar, towered over her, its body covered in scales that shimmered with a lethal metallic sheen. Revered and feared as an apex predator on its home world of Vrax, the beast had jaws capable of crushing steel, claws that could gouge solid rock, and a reputation that made even the battle-hardened warriors of the Galactic Council keep their distance. Whispers and murmurs filled the air as the assembled delegates watched in disbelief. The Vraxar, whose species had never been subjugated nor befriended by any other race, stood unnervingly still next to the human. Its tail, tipped with a deadly barb, swayed gently, not in aggression but in a calm, almost contemplative manner. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Commander Jensen began, her voice amplified to reach every corner of the chamber. "Today, we stand before you not only to represent Terra, but to demonstrate a possibility for a future where fear and misunderstanding are no longer barriers between civilizations." She paused, allowing her words to resonate. Sarah then turned slightly towards the Vraxar, her movements deliberate, radiating respect and confidence. She reached out her hand and gently placed it on the creature's massive head. The council gasped collectively. Such a display of familiarity with a Vraxar was unheard of, bordering on sacrilege. The Vraxar's response was immediate and shocking. It closed its eyes and leaned into the touch, a soft growl rumbling from its throat, an unmistakable sound of contentment. Across the council, translators worked furiously to explain the significance of what was unfolding. This Vraxar, named Thorax by my team, was considered a terror on Vrax. Yet with understanding, patience, and respect, we have not tamed but befriended Thorax. Sarah continued, her hand still resting on the creature. This demonstrates that even those we fear the most can become allies, if only we dare to extend a hand of friendship. The room was silent, every delegate processing the implications of this simple yet profound act. If a human could achieve a peaceful rapport with a Vraxar, what else was possible? As we discuss the future of our interstellar relations today, let us remember this moment, Sarah concluded. Fear makes enemies, curiosity makes friends. We choose friendship. The applause that followed was hesitant at first, then grew to a thunderous cacophony, echoing off the high dome of the chamber. As the clapping continued, many delegates looked not just at Commander Jensen, but at Thorax, with new eyes filled with wonder and perhaps a glint of hope. Thus concluded the first chapter in what would become a historic session of the Galactic Council, forever altering the course of interspecies relationships across the galaxy. The second day of the Galactic Council session began with a different air, charged with the residual astonishment of the previous day's events. The chamber was filled earlier than usual, a testament to the eagerness and anxiety permeating the ranks of the assembled representatives. Whispers about the human and her Vraxar companion were rampant, with speculation about the implications for the political and social structure of the multiverse at an all-time high. Commander Sarah Jensen returned to the central platform, Thorax by her side, now a symbol of the unexpected bridges that could be built between species. The Council's president, a dignified being from the scholarly planet of Lyceum, gestured for silence. The focus today was on the tangible outcomes of interspecies cooperation, and Sarah was to spearhead the discussion. "Esteemed colleagues," Sarah started, her gaze sweeping across the crowd, "yesterday, we witnessed what many considered impossible. Today, I propose we explore this further. Let's consider practical ways in which we can apply these principles of mutual understanding and respect. A delegate from the aquatic world of Aquatilis raised a limb, signaling a request to speak. Commander Jensen, while your demonstration with the Vraxar was indeed remarkable, how do you suggest we implement this on a practical level? Our worlds are vastly different. What works with a Vraxar might not work with, say, an Aquatilian or a Lyceumite. Sarah nodded, acknowledging the concern. A valid point. I suggest establishing an interspecies exchange program. Think of it as an opportunity for members of different species to live among each other, to learn directly about each other's cultures, strengths, and challenges. The idea sparked a flurry of reactions. Some delegates nodded thoughtfully, others exchanged skeptical glances. A representative from the technologically advanced Cygnus Confederacy adjusted his translator device before speaking. An exchange program could facilitate greater understanding, but it also poses significant risks. Cultural misunderstandings could lead to conflicts, perhaps even wars. Sarah listened attentively, her expression calm. Every great endeavor comes with risks. However, the potential benefits, peace, alliance, shared knowledge, are surely worth the effort. Thorax here, she gestured to the calm beast beside her, was once thought of as a mindless predator. Look at him now, a creature capable of friendship and trust. The room quieted, considering her words. The president of the council interjected. Perhaps we should start small. A pilot program with volunteers from worlds already open to such exchanges. An excellent suggestion, Sarah agreed. A pilot program would allow us to address and learn from any issues on a smaller scale. Debates continued, growing in complexity as delegates delved into specifics. Selection criteria for participants, legal protections, how to handle breaches of peace, and the sharing of technologies and resources. Sarah fielded questions, facilitated discussions, and when necessary, steered the conversations back to the core message of empathy and mutual benefit. As the session wore on, the council began to draft a resolution to establish the pilot interspecies exchange program, with Earth, Aquatilis, Lyceum, and the Cygnus Confederacy as initial participants. The groundwork was laid for what could either be a monumental stride toward unity or a delicate experiment in interspecies relations. Either way, the seeds of change were sown, influenced by the simple yet profound interaction between a human and a Vraxar. In the days following the resolution's passage, preparations for the interspecies exchange program began in earnest. Headquarters were established on a neutral space station orbiting the serene gas giant of Bellatrix. The station, designed as a blend of many worlds' architectural styles, symbolized the unity the program aspired to achieve. Teams from the initial participant species worked tirelessly, setting up living quarters, cultural exchange zones, and mediation rooms equipped with advanced translation technologies to prevent misunderstandings. Sarah Jensen, now appointed as the first director of the exchange program, supervised the setup. She was acutely aware that the success of this venture depended heavily on the initial exchanges. Her team selected participants with care, prioritizing those who demonstrated open-mindedness, adaptability, and a deep respect for other cultures. Meanwhile, on Earth, a young scientist named Dr. Emily Nguyen was preparing for her departure to the station. An expert in xenobiological sciences, Emily had always been fascinated by alien physiology and ecosystems. The opportunity to work directly with alien scientists and explore their world's biological treasures was a dream come true. As she packed her belongings, her mind buzzed with the possibilities. What secrets would she uncover? How would her own work evolve in such a diverse environment? Back at the Galactic Council, not all were pleased with the direction events had taken. A fringe group of isolationists from the shadowy world of Drexel 4 voiced their discontent loudly. They argued that the program was a breach of planetary sovereignty and a dangerous step toward unnecessary mingling of species that were better off apart. Their rhetoric found little traction among the majority, but it was enough to stir unease. As the launch date approached, security was tightened. The last thing anyone needed was a disruptive incident that could jeopardize the program before it even began. Commander Jensen reviewed security protocols, ran drills with her team, and coordinated with planetary governments to ensure the safety of all participants. The day of departure arrived. The selected delegates from Earth, Aquatilis, Lyceum, and the Cygnus Confederacy gathered at the launch facility on the Moon, where shuttles awaited to ferry them to the Bellatrix station. Cameras broadcast the event across galaxies, capturing the historic moment. Families hugged their loved ones goodbye, not knowing what to expect but hoping for the best. As the shuttle carrying Emily and other Earth delegates docked at the station, they were greeted by representatives from the other participating species. Initial greetings were cautious but cordial, with each delegate making an effort to display cultural gestures of peace and respect. Over the first few days, Emily and her new colleagues from different worlds shared meals, participated in joint seminars, and began collaborative projects. She was paired with a Cygnus engineer named Rael, whose expertise in artificial ecosystems complemented her biological studies. Together, they worked on integrating Earth's plant life with alien flora to create sustainable food production systems for the station. Despite the overarching goal of unity, tensions occasionally surfaced. Miscommunications were inevitable, and cultural differences led to disagreements. However, the presence of mediators and the genuine desire of most participants to make the program a success led to resolutions that often ended in deeper understanding and stronger friendships. As the initial weeks turned into months, the exchange program began to yield its first fruits. Technologies were shared, leading to breakthroughs in medicine, energy, and agriculture. Stories of friendships and even romances between species started to circulate, bringing a sense of warmth and community to the station. Yet, the isolationist voices from Drexel 4 grew. The murmurs of dissent from Drexel 4 evolved into a palpable threat as a clandestine meeting convened in the dimly lit corridors of their homeworld. The group, known as the Sovereign Alignment, comprised influential figures who viewed the interspecies exchange program as a dilution of their cultural and genetic purity. Their leader, Vraxil, a seasoned politician with a sharp mind and a persuasive tongue, laid out a plan to disrupt the program. "Listen carefully," Vraxil hissed, his voice a blend of command and venom. "Our objective is to expose the vulnerabilities of this program. We will infiltrate the station, create chaos, and show the galaxy the folly of these unnatural alliances." Back at the Bellatrix station, life progressed smoothly, with the participants largely unaware of the looming threat. Emily and Rael had made significant strides in their project, developing a prototype of a bioreactor that could adapt to the diverse environmental conditions of different planets. Their success was a testament to the potential of collaborative efforts across species lines. Sarah, busy with her administrative duties, remained vigilant. She had heard whispers of discontent from certain corners of the galaxy, but the details were scant. She reinforced security measures and increased surveillance, hoping to preempt any possible disruptions. One evening, as the station's artificial sun dipped below the horizon of the viewing decks, an alarm blared unexpectedly. The security system had detected an unauthorized shuttle approaching fast from the direction of Drexel 4. Sarah was immediately on alert, coordinating with the station's security team to prepare for potential boarding. "Everyone, stay calm and proceed to your designated safe zones," Sarah announced over the station's communication system. "Security teams, prepare to intercept." The intruding shuttle made a rough docking at one of the auxiliary ports, its occupants ready to execute their plan. They were armed with disruptors, devices capable of disabling electronic systems and sowing confusion. As they disembarked, they were met by a security contingent led by Sarah herself. "Stand down," Sarah commanded, her voice firm as she faced the intruders. "This station is a beacon of peace and cooperation. You will not undermine that." Vraxil stepped forward, his stance defiant. "This beacon is a blight on the purity of our species. We will not stand idly by as you corrupt the galaxy with your delusions of harmony." A tense standoff ensued, with the station's inhabitants watching through secure feeds. Sarah, realizing that a violent conflict would only validate Vraxil's claims of discord, decided on a different approach. "Let's talk," she proposed, her tone steady but open. "You have concerns. We are here to listen. There is no need for conflict when words can suffice. Vraxel, taken aback by her offer but seeing an opportunity to voice his propaganda, agreed. The two leaders, surrounded by their respective teams, convened in the station's central hub. The debate was intense, broadcast live across the galaxy, with Sarah defending the program's achievements and goals, while Vraxel aired his fears and accusations. As the discussion unfolded, viewers from countless worlds tuned in, gripped by the unfolding drama. Emily and Rael, like many others, watched anxiously, their project and perhaps their very lives hanging in the balance. The debate reached its climax as Sarah made an impassioned plea, not just to Vraxel, but to the entire galaxy. Look around you, see the friendships formed, the knowledge shared. This is the real strength of the galaxy, our diversity, our unity. The galaxy watched, and the tide of public opinion began to shift. Messages of support for the program flooded in, overwhelming. Months after the confrontation with the Sovereign alignment, the atmosphere aboard the Bellatrix station had shifted palpably. The incident had served as a catalyst, strengthening the resolve of the station's inhabitants and drawing in a surge of support from across the galaxy. New species expressed interest in joining the exchange program, and the initial participants worked with a renewed sense of purpose. In the newly established laboratories of the station, Emily and Rael's project became one of the flagship examples of successful interspecies collaboration. Their bioreactor was now operational, providing sustainable food sources that could adapt to the diverse biological needs of the station's varied inhabitants. The success drew visitors from far and wide, eager to understand the science and perhaps replicate it on their own worlds. Meanwhile, Sarah took proactive steps to ensure that the station remained a safe space for all. Learning from the recent crisis, she implemented a series of diplomatic workshops aimed at crisis management and conflict resolution. These workshops, led by mediators from different civilizations, became mandatory for all new arrivals on the station, equipping them with the skills needed to navigate the complex dynamics of interspecies interactions. Amidst this backdrop of burgeoning cooperation, an annual gala was organized to celebrate the first year of the exchange program. The event was to be held in the Grand Hall of the station, a stunning venue with panoramic views of the Bellatrix system. Representatives from each participating species were invited to share their cultures, cuisines, and achievements in a festive, inclusive atmosphere. As the gala approached, Emily was tasked with presenting the bioreactor project to the assembly. She worked closely with Rael to prepare their presentation, integrating virtual reality simulations that would allow attendees to visually explore the inner workings of the bioreactor and understand its ecological impact. The night of the gala arrived, and the grand hall buzzed with excitement. Delegates dressed in their traditional attire mingled, exchanging greetings and laughter. The aroma of exotic dishes filled the air, each table offering a taste of different worlds, a culinary representation of the program's ethos. Sarah, in her role as director, opened the gala with a brief speech. Tonight we celebrate not just our achievements but our collective journey. Each of us from every corner of the galaxy contributes to this beautiful tapestry of cooperation. Following her speech, the presentations began. Emily and Rael were among the first, their simulation captivating the audience. The virtual tour of the bioreactor showcased its ability to integrate plant life from various ecosystems, demonstrating a thriving green environment that could one day be replicated on planets struggling with food scarcity. The applause was enthusiastic, and many delegates approached them afterwards with questions and proposals for similar projects on their own worlds. The success of the evening was a testament to the far-reaching impact of the exchange program. As the gala continued, spontaneous performances broke out among the guests. A group from Aquatilis performed a traditional water dance, their movements synchronized beautifully with the holographic waves projected around the hall. Laughter and applause echoed through the space, a sound of genuine delight and camaraderie. Later, as the festivities wound down, Sarah stood at the edge of the hall, looking out at the stars. The challenges were many, but nights like this made it all worthwhile. Around her, the laughter and music continued, a symphony of diverse voices and stories intertwining. The impact of the exchange program was no longer just a vision. It was a vivid, thriving reality, continuously evolving with each new day and each new participant. The galaxy, once divided by fear and misunderstanding, was slowly but surely learning to celebrate its diversity. And at the heart of it all was Bellatrix Station, a beacon of hope and unity in the vast expanse of space. As the second year of the interspecies exchange program commenced, the Bellatrix Station had expanded both in size and scope. Additional modules were added to accommodate the influx of new species eager to join, each designed to mimic the environmental conditions of their home planets. The station had become a living mosaic of ecosystems and cultures, a testament to what could be achieved when diverse species worked together. The success of Emily and Rael's bioreactor project had sparked a series of innovations across various fields. Inspired by their collaborative spirit, a team from Lyceum and the Cygnus Confederacy had developed a new form of energy transfer technology that was both more efficient and less polluting than anything previously known. This technology was now being tested on the station, with plans to roll it out galaxy-wide if it proved successful. Meanwhile, the educational outreach of the program had grown significantly. Virtual learning sessions were broadcast from the station, offering students from all participating worlds a chance to learn about other cultures, technologies, and biological ecosystems. Emily often hosted these sessions, sharing her knowledge of xenobiology with young minds eager to understand the interconnectedness of life in the galaxy. The station had not only become a hub for scientific and cultural exchange, but also a symbol of peace. It hosted diplomatic meetings and conflict resolution summits, leveraging its neutral status and the goodwill it had generated to mediate disputes that might once have led to war. Sarah's leadership was crucial in steering the program through its expansion phase. She worked tirelessly, coordinating with leaders from dozens of worlds, ensuring that the program remained true to its foundational goals of understanding, respect, and cooperation. As the second anniversary of the program approached, a grand conference was scheduled to review the progress and chart the future course. Delegates from over 200 worlds were expected to attend, including leaders of some of the most influential planets in the galaxy. The conference convened in the largest auditorium on the station, a vast space designed to accommodate various atmospheric needs and communication styles. The walls were lined with translation devices, ensuring that every speech and discussion could be understood by all attendees. Sarah opened the conference with a keynote address, reflecting on the journey of the past 2 years. "We have built something extraordinary here," she declared, her voice echoing through the chamber. "Not just in the technologies we have developed or the crises we have averted, but in the bridges we have built. This program is a living proof that unity does not mean uniformity, and that peace is not just the absence of war, but the presence of understanding." The conference featured panels and workshops that showcased the wide-ranging impacts of the program. Emily and Rael presented their latest project, a system designed to regenerate barren planets using a combination of their bioreactor technology and the new energy transfer methods. The highlight of the conference was the signing of the Bellatrix Accord, a multilateral agreement to expand the reach of the exchange program. The accord outlined plans for a series of new stations, each to be constructed in different sectors of the galaxy, serving as regional hubs for cultural and scientific exchange. As the conference closed, the delegates stood together, a colorful array of beings from across the stars, their hands linked in a moment of silent commitment to continue the work they had begun. Looking out at the assembly, Sarah felt a profound sense of accomplishment and hope. The challenges ahead were many, and the path was long and uncertain. But as she watched the delegates, former strangers, now partners and friends, she knew they were on the right track. The final words of the conference resonated through the station, a promise and a prophecy. Together, we are not just building a program or a station, we are building a future. And with that, the Bellatrix Station, once a mere outpost, had become the heart of a new era in the galaxy, an era of shared knowledge, shared challenges, and shared dreams.